Hey, what's going on, guys? So, first of all, I have to apologize forthwith about this video because in all my time on YouTube, I've actually never uploaded a video that was just me talking in front of a camera without a script. You know, this is just all off the top of my head. This is the real me, and yeah, it's a little weird because I'm so used to having like a bunch of papers right next to me with all my words written on, and then I would just like deliver them to you guys. So yeah, really bizarre, and I have to apologize if I seem really weird because I probably will come across as such. Okay. So to today's subject, again, this is why I need a script because I can't think of anything. Oh yeah, Q&A video. So yeah, a few of you guys were suggesting I do one, and I thought it sounded like a lot of fun, so here I am. And I mean, I always try to answer as many questions as I can through Facebook and YouTube, like text responses, but I think there's something a bit more fun about giving you guys a video response. So I asked you guys on Facebook to put forward some questions for the video, and quite a lot of you put forward some questions, so now I will go ahead and answer them. But before I actually get to that, I just want to let you guys know of a few websites you can actually follow and support me on. The first of which is Patreon. I have a Patreon page. If you don't know what Patreon is, I think I better explain because it's a relatively new site. Think of it as kind of like Kickstarter, but for content creators. The idea is that every time I upload a new review, that being in my case a new game review or a new movie review, you would contribute a little bit of money to help support me and fund the show and, you know, help me get by in life. And yeah, so you could contribute as little as $1 or as much as you want, really. Though please, I will say that don't go crazy or anything with the money that you contribute or anything. Please just, you know, keep it low, because the good thing about the site is that it's sort of like a group effort. But one thing I just want to make perfectly clear about this site is that it is entirely optional. I will never ever charge for content, because actually one idea I had with Patreon was to offer my deleted scenes videos just exclusively for my patrons. But the problem I had with that is that all that would be doing is just preventing 99% of my audience from seeing the deleted scene videos, and my patrons would see the videos anyway, even if they didn't make them exclusive to them, if that makes any sense. So yeah, well anyway, I'm rambling on. So Patreon, link is in the description. If you want to support me on there, that would be absolutely amazing, and I would be entirely grateful. So if you support me on there, thank you so much. Oh yeah, and should I mention that if you do support me on there, I will obviously give you a mention in the credits section of every Unusual Suspect episode. To go on, Facebook, I have a Facebook page. If you want to keep up to date on episode updates and such, that is by far the best place to follow me. You can also contact me on there, and that being my fan page, of course. Personal messages, I always try to respond. If you contact me on there, and chances are I will probably respond. So yeah, definitely head over there if you want to contact me and ask me anything. I always try to respond. Again, this is why I need a script, because I keep saying the same word all the time in the same sentence. Oh, you can tell I'm nervous. Twitter I also have, though I use that more of like a necessity. So if you've contacted me over there and you're wondering why I'm not responded, know that the reason being is that I just don't use it. The only time I ever use it is when I post a new episode and I post a new link to that. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, that's fine. Just know that I'm not, you know, an active user on the site. I'm also part of two reviewer websites as well. One is Geek Vision, and the other is the Agony Booth. Both sites are spectacular, full of really talented people. People like Il Nedge, Good Bad Flicks, Sursa Mercer, Joey Tedesco. So many talented people up there. I mean, if you like my stuff, then chances are you'll like theirs too. So definitely head over to their sites and check those guys' stuff out if you haven't already. And I think that's about it in terms of website. Oh, right, yeah, I just forgot. My blog, actually, that is probably actually the most important thing. And I completely forgot all about it, I'm sorry. Right, so my blog, need to think, cannot think, because I don't have a script. Alright, oh yeah, okay, so my blog is where you can see all my videos that I've ever done. I've sort of categorized them, so you're able to see like my movie review section, my video game review section, my mashup section. I've also done an FAQ section on the blog, so if I don't answer your question today, I may have answered it in the FAQ section, so definitely head over there. Also, by far the most asked question I get is when will the next review be out? So I'm currently working on a review for The Phantom Menace, and if you head over to my blog, you'll see a section called Next Review Progress, I think it's called, and there you'll see 3 bars. One is called writing, one is called filming, and one is called editing. And the progress bars, so they give you an indication of how far along I am in the process of making a video. By far, writing is what takes the longest. I mean, that can take me months to do. But once writing is done, then the review should probably follow in about a week. So head over there if you want to know when my next review will be out, because I can never ever say when it will be out, because writing for me is just so... Some days I'm on my game, some days I'm just looking at a blank screen and I'm like, I can't think of any good jokes. I mean, I'm terrible. And I procrastinate like no other as well. I'm quite ashamed to admit that, but yeah. So head over there if you want to know how far along the review is. Also on my blog is a section where you can actually vote for what next review will be next. Yeah, again, need a script and using the same words and same sentences twice. If you head over to... Well, if you head to my blog, you'll see it. You can actually vote for... I've put about 15 to 20 movies on there, and I will be reviewing Phantom Menace next, but you can also vote for what will come after that. As of right now, in the lead is The Amazing Spider-Man 2, so if you disagree with that, head over there and you may be able to change the vote, who knows. But I mean, I should imagine Amazing Spider-Man 2 will win out, because I'll get like requests for that like almost every day. So yeah, people love the Spidey reviews for some reason. Anyway, so yeah, that's about it. So now let's actually get on with some freaking questions finally. I mean, how long am I in this video? Like 7 minutes and I haven't got all the questions yet. If you're still with me, you know, I love you. Man, okay, so let's see how many questions I've got here. I think I have a few. Okay, I think it's roughly around about 200 questions. Oh man. Okay, with that many questions, I don't think I'm going to be able to get around to absolutely every single one. So if I don't get around to your question, I apologise. But if you follow me on Facebook, then you can put forward a question for the next mashup video. I'm gonna need the script. This is so. If you'll be able to put forward questions for my next Q&A video. If I do one of these in the future, we'll see how it goes, and judging on how this is going so far, it's not going well. Okay, so yeah, let me know, this is going to take a while. Okay, right, starting with, also I just realised that I'm probably going to mispronounce so many people's names here, so if I do, I apologise. It's just, that's the thing about having people from all around the world watching you, you're just going to have, I'm going to be butchering so many names here, so I apologise. Okay, first question. Will be to John Argoot. Again, I'm struggling on the first name. You ask, what are your thoughts on the plan, the Amazing Spider-Man franchise, sequels and spin-offs, and it being cancelled? Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed that Andrew Garfield's no longer going to be the Spider-Man, because I thought he was great, and he only got to do 2 movies, and that's really disappointing. I mean, I would have liked to have seen where the franchise would have gone after that. The thing with The Amazing Spider-Man 2 though is they actually kind of got rid of what honestly I thought was the best thing about the movies. If you've I can't say here because I'll probably spoil the movie, but at the end a certain character dies, and I thought that character was like the best thing about the franchise. So yeah, they kind of screwed up there, I think. But yeah, I mean, with Spider-Man crossing into the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now, it has got me really excited. I don't really know who is going to be Spider-Man. I think there's rumors going around there's going to be Asa Butterfield, who is only about like 18, I think, so he is really young to be... I mean, okay, the thing is, I mentioned this in my Amazing Spider-Man review, Peter Parker is like a teenager, so it's nice that they're actually thinking about getting a teenager to play him, but they're crossing him over to the MCU, aren't they? So it's going to be like, you know, Iron Man and Thor, who are like 30, 40 years old, and they're going to be interacting with like a teenager. I don't know, it's just, it seems a little weird to me. I mean, I'm not going to like totally diss whatever choice they go for with the role. Although one thing I really love to see is J.K. Simmons back as Jameson. If they can ever get him back, that would be amazing, because he's easily the best thing about any Spider-Man movie ever. Okay, and I've just realised that I've spent probably about like 5 minutes on that one question, and I've got like 399 more of them ago. Oh, bloody Norris. Okay, Solomon Hart asks, can you please do an American accent, please? Oh man, okay. Oh man. I realize that this is probably going to be like very stereotypical. It's like proper Texas accent, and I don't know. I mean, I'm always in envy of all those. This is awful. Sorry, I can't do an American accent. I'm sorry. I'll continue. I mean, the thing is, you see, well, I'll say it in the accent. You see actors like Hugh Laurie and Alfred Molina able to pull off like the proper American accent without sounding like a total stereotypical redneck. Yeah, so there's my American accent. Awful, no, but you know, you asked for it, so awful. I'm joking, I love you. Okay, Manuel Josh Rivera, you ask favourite film scene, and favourite film line. Ooh, okay. Favourite film would have to be 12 Angry Men. I've actually got a poster for that right up here. Actually, I'm going to take this down so you can see. Please come off. Yep, there we go. 12 Angry Men. Favourite movie of all time. Love, love, love this movie. I'm probably going to pull this up later. I should probably just kept it up there. Yeah, Henry Fonda is unbelievable, and the film is, all it is just 12 guys in a room talking. It sounds exciting, right? But it goes to show that you just don't need like a big budget or anything like that to put together like a really well-made film. I mean, the dialogue is amazing, the direction, it's just so, it's the pacing of it is brilliant as well. And there's never a dull moment in that movie. Definitely check 12 Angry Men out if you haven't already. Favourite film scene? So many to choose from. It's like asking to choose between children. Oh, I don't know. Probably a fight scene, I would say. I know this may sound like a really weird choice, but the Darth Maul fight scene from Phantom Menace, I love that. I think maybe it's because when I was a kid, I used to watch that scene all the time. I remember I had a VHS and I was always like fast forward to just that bit so I could watch it over and over again. And then there I was like in front of the TV trying to like, with my toy lightsaber trying to match the fight scene. So, I mean, that's probably the scene I love the most. I mean, I know it's Phantom Menace, it's really not that great, but, you know, I love it, so, yeah. I know it seems like a really weird choice. I'm sure there's, like, better film scenes out there, but that's all I can think of at the top of my head at the moment. Favourite film line? Probably something like a comedy line, like a glove from Ace Ventura, or maybe something like that, because the way he just delivers it's hilarious. I mean, Ace Ventura are amongst my favourite comedies. Maybe like a Life of Brian line, like, he is not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy. Now go away. Love that. Although for more serious lines, I quite like the line that Kevin Spacey delivers in The Usual Suspects. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. I love that line, and that's I should get that like framed or something. I love that line. Patrick Wartner, you ask, what advice would you give to someone who wanted to... Oh, sorry, I've got gas. Sorry, man. What advice would you give to someone who wanted to upload movie reviews to YouTube? Well, actually, I've done a section on my blog about advice for aspiring reviewers, so if you head over to that, you'll see a whole section I did on this. But for advice for aspiring reviewers in a video response, I will say that the most important thing is don't be afraid of sucking, and just to, you know, not procrastinate and just do it. I mean, you hear people all the time saying like, oh, what advice would you give? And, you know, they've never actually made a single video, and I'm like, you know, making videos would be a good start. I mean, I'm not saying you, Patrick, I mean, I'm not saying you, Patrick, are like that, but, you know, I do get a lot of people asking me that, like, oh, what advice would you give for making movie reviews? Okay, show us your movie review. Oh, I haven't made one yet. Oh, well, that would be a good start. Yeah, so definitely just get started. Practice makes perfect. I would say, you know, try to develop your own style, try and make something that's unique to you. I mean, the whole thing with me is that I pretty much copied Nostalgia Critics format, but I've tried to sort of like branch out and do my own things, you know, like the green screen inserts and the more, shall we say, immature humor, you could say, that I try incorporate into the videos. So yeah, number one advice, just do it. Just start making videos. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. And just try to develop your own style and make something unique to you. Yeah, that's my advice. I'm not exactly sure it's very inspiring, but you know, what are you gonna do for someone who's never talked in front of a camera before without a script before? So, sorry man, that's as best as I can do. Again, head over to my blog if you want more advice. Okay, Marcos Flores, you ask, which Spider-Man movie do you think is the best one in your opinion? Probably what everyone says, Spider-Man 2. It's just all around so well rounded, you know, it's got the amazing action scenes like the train scene. It's probably the funniest out of the 3 original films without it being overly, you know, wrong, like Spider-Man 3 and the dance scene. And it's probably the best paced as well. So yeah, Spider-Man 2 is probably the best one. I'm sorry, I'm going to try and like get through some of these questions a bit quicker because I've got so many to go through and I'm like spending like 3 minutes on each one. Okay, Jasper Fredo Frog. Oh, what kind of... That's an awesome name, man. Okay, you say, I loved your retrospective game reviews on the Harry Potter series. Oh yeah, you like the bit I did in my Deathly Hallows Part 2 review for the Wii, yeah. So, thanks, man. Are there any other games that you loved and would like to give them a second go? I mean, like a retrospective I could do on a game series. Uncharted maybe. I'd like to do an Uncharted retrospective because that's like one of my favourite video game series. Ace Attorney as well, maybe even a Tekken one actually. I mean, I know Kadikarus actually recently did a Tekken retrospective, but you know, I think maybe I could do one myself, maybe in a single video, and talk about all the games because I'm a big Tekken nut. So yeah, Tekken, Ace Attorney and Uncharted I would like to do retrospectives on one day, I think. Because those are my 3 favourite game franchises. Okay, Brock Cambra asks, what movie do you really want to review in the future? Maybe The Mighty Ducks, actually. I have quite fond memories of those films, especially with the second one. I could just have a lot of fun with that. Also, I know this may seem a bit of a weird choice, but Enter the Dragon, you know, Bruce Lee's magnum opus, shall we say? Because there's just so many classic lines in that film that you sort of want to mock, but in a sort of, you know, a nice way. You know, when Bruce Lee is like, don't concentrate on the finger or you'll miss all that heavenly glory. You just, I love those lines that are just like, I feel as though I can make fun of those. I mean, the problem with it is that, do you really want to make fun of Bruce Lee? Probably not. But yeah, you know, I may do that in the future, but I gotta make sure to be as, you know, as tasteful as possible. Lewis Goldwater, you ask, if you could pick one video game from a past console to have an HD remake on the current gen consoles, what game would you choose? Ooh, Actually, I've been recently playing a lot of PS2 games actually on an emulator. I've been using this PC right here to play games like Persona 4 and Dragon Quest 8. And the good thing about the PCSX2 emulator is that it can up the textures. So you're essentially playing the game in HD already, so the whole putting the game in HD, it doesn't hold much appeal to me. But yeah, I mean, I would probably say those games that I'm playing right now, like Persona 4, Dragon Quest 8, Final Fantasy 12 as well, because that's my personal favourite Final Fantasy game. I know that's not a popular opinion, but that I'd quite like to see have an HD remake. I mean, Final Fantasy 10 has one, so I think it'd be nice if 12 got one too. Okay, Jim in Michigan asks, are there any films you absolutely will not do? Good question actually. Probably films that I feel, well, ones that I didn't really like or get, but everyone says are amazing, and I just didn't really get them. Like 2001: A Space Odyssey maybe, or The Godfather, films like that, you know, like those really classic films that are just so well made, but when I watched them, I just didn't find them that interesting. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get so much hate for saying that, like, but I don't know, I just didn't really get into them as much as a lot of people seem to say they are. I mean, they're amazingly well-made films. Again, need a script because I'm totally buggering up my lines again, but story-wise, they just didn't really grip me. You know, pacing, they're just really slow, and pacing is something really important with me in a movie. Again, if you love the films, I totally get it, but me personally, I didn't really like them, and as a result, I probably just won't review them because I probably get a lot of hate from people who are less understanding than you guys. So yeah. So yeah, those are two films I probably will never do. Okay, Brittany Billard, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name right. Do you have any favourite movie critics? Yes, I do. Obviously, Nostalgia Critic. Obviously, you know, I base my reviews off of his. I mean, that was a given. Other movie reviewers I like are Mr. Plinkett, who does these. I mean, everyone, I think most people will know who Mr. Plinkett is of Red Letter Media. He does like the Star Wars prequels. He's best known for amazing, funny, very analytical reviews, just brilliant. I mean, this is coming from someone who actually likes the prequels, so someone who can give a review of something that you hate but you still like the review, you know they're doing something right. Belated Media as well, he does fantastic reviews. I love his What If series, coincidentally enough also about the Star Wars prequels. They're fantastic, and he also does other outside noise, other reviews as well, and they're all fantastic. Bikers. Your Movie Sucks as well. He's also part of the same network I am, coincidentally enough, and his reviews are very, very well made. He's very funny. I love his delivery. He just gets straight to the point. He tells it as it is. He's really funny. Who else do I like? Chris Stuckman, Jeremy Johns, and the Schmoes are the three guys that four guys should I say, who review more recent releases. I respect those guys' opinions quite a lot. I always give those guys a watch and say what movies are out in cinemas right now that I should and shouldn't watch. Those guys are really fantastic reviewers. Also, Il Nedge of What We Had to Watch. I love his videos as well. You know, I mean, obviously he made a cameo in my Two Towers review, and you know, who knows, maybe me and him will collaborate a bit more in the future. See if he wants to. Bobby Burton's also, he does mashups as well and reviews much like I do. His reviews are fantastic and his mashups are really well edited as well, so definitely check him out too. I think that's about it for movie reviewers. There may be like one or two I'm missing out, but yeah, those are my favourite guys at the moment. Okay, Christopher Delgado asks, what's your favourite game franchise? I think I already answered this. Yeah, I have three: Uncharted, Tekken, and Ace Attorney. So those three are my favourite game franchises. Will Hay, or Hay, sorry, don't know how to pronounce your last name. What was the first film you ever saw at the cinema? Ooh, bloody Norris. It was either, I can't remember, it was one of either three films. It was either The Lion King, Toy Story, or Casper. It was one of those three, I know that much. I can't remember which one it was for the life of me. Again, I must have been like 4 at the time. I mean, who the hell can remember what happens at 4? So one of those. Luke Saltero asks, favourite movie director? Yeah, I'm a bit of a Nolan fanboy. Christopher Nolan's just, I mean, he has yet to make a bad film. Edgar Wright, I love his style. He's fantastic. Steven Spielberg, you know, he's a classic. Yeah, I think those three guys are probably my favourite. Oh, friggin' ice cream truck. I'm gonna wait till I go up to buy. It's 6 p.m. as I'm filming this as well. What kind of ice cream truck comes around at 6 p.m? Okay, I'm just going to talk over this. Movie directors. Quentin Tarantino as well. I love his work. I always look forward to see what he brings out to. So, yeah, favourite movie directors. There's probably one or two I'm missing out there, but those are the ones I can think of at the top of my head right now. Timmy Wiltshire asks, are there any movies that... Oh, pardon me, it's Timmy Wiltshire. Sorry, I mean, I'm Yorkshire lad. Are there any movies that have been widely praised that you haven't really liked, and if so, what are some major examples? Oh, I just talked about this. It was my 2001 Space Odyssey and The Godfather. Again, amazing films. I just didn't really get into them as much as other people. So yeah. Hector Giraldo asks, what made you decide to go and make the mashup trailers and TV intros? I think it was mostly I saw other people online doing it, so I wanted to take a shot at it myself. I saw like these really well made trailer mashups. Like one guy did a mashup of The Matrix and Scott Pilgrim. That was really well done. Another guy did Reservoir Dogs with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was fantastic as well. So yeah, I just wanted to do my own. Originally I just did those like lip sync ones where you just sort of align the original trailer's audio with footage from a new movie, but then I got an idea to include original dialogue as well and like totally change the style of a movie in a trailer. So to answer your question in a nutshell, it's because other people were doing it. Okay, Marvin Cavanagh Brown asks, what are your worst films you have ever seen and what are the best films you have ever seen? I mean, the thing about bad films is that I don't actually go on my way to watch them, because if I hear a film is bad, I just don't watch it. But I will say that The Last Airbender was pretty dreadful. As a fan of the show, actually I saw the movie before I watched the show. And when I watched the movie, I thought, yeah, this isn't very good, but you know, it's harmless enough, I guess. But then I watched the show, and then out of curiosity, I watched the movie again to see how true it stayed to it, and it was awful. I was like, oh my god, I can't. Ooh. Probably The Last Airbender is probably the worst movie I've ever seen. I mean, I'm sure there's worse movies out there, but for what I've seen, probably the worst. Best movies I've ever seen, again, 12 Angry Men. LA Confidential as well, I got a post up there for that too. That's another favourite film of mine too, so yeah. Anna oh my god. Anar Akisugoroson. Probably butchering your name so bad there, but will you ever make a full boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew song? Good luck trying to pronounce my name, by the way, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have had a few people saying that I should make a full version of that song. And the problem is that I actually used a licensed track to make that song, so if I did do it, I would have to probably have an original composition made for me, and I have absolutely no idea when it comes to music production. I mean, I just made that as a joke in my review. I mean, I'd never made music or rapped or anything like that before, so you know, maybe I'll do a full version of that in the future, but as of right now, no plans on doing that. Okay, Marshall Lee McCall asks, what has been your favourite film that you have reviewed? What was the review you had the most fun working on? Probably, to answer both questions at the same time, the Spider-Man 2 review, because that was the first time I'd ever done green screen keying, like inserted myself into the movie, and I had a lot of fun doing that and seeing the end result. I mean, I remember a lot of jokes in that review I really felt worked. So Spider-Man 2 review is probably my favourite review I've done so far. Josiah Sillivan asks, how many siblings do you have? I have a brother. Year older than I am. His name is Adam. He actually has a YouTube channel himself, actually, just I thought might let you know. I'll leave a link to that in the description. He has autism though, so you know, if you do check out his videos, you know, be, you know, courteous and all that. But yeah, I mean, he wants to do his own game reviews, and yeah, I helped him a bit with his editing, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. So yeah, to answer your question, one brother. Oh my god, okay, since you won't be able to pronounce my name, otherwise call me Phoenix, because why the fuck not? Okay, Phoenix. How are you doing, Phoenix? What do you think is the bigger bitch? Umbridge from Harry Potter or Joffrey from Game of Thrones? Good god. Both are pretty big bitches. I'm gonna say Umbridge, actually, because if I told you why, it'd be a bit of a spoiler in Game of Thrones. I think maybe a few of you guys might be like, okay, oh yeah, that's why you think Umbridge is the bigger bitch. Yeah, if you watched Game of Thrones season 4, I think you may know why I think Umbridge is the bigger bitch. Okay, Fred Richards asks, what are your thoughts on the upcoming Star Wars anthology films, Rogue One, etc., in regard to the effect they will have on the franchise? Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of like how it's expanding. I mean, the Star Wars universe is huge. I mean, there's just so much potential for stories to be told. And you know, now the rights are open to anyone who wants to do their own interpretation of the universe. So yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing more Star Wars. Huge Star Wars nut, you know. I mean, who isn't really these days? So yeah, I think it's great, to answer your question. Ben Howard asks, I've been watching you since you were the shock suspect. Oh wow, you've been for a while. Wow. Okay, thanks a lot, man. And then you changed to the Nintendo Critic and now the Unusual Suspect. I just wondered what made you decide to restart channels and what made this one in particular so much more successful than others. Very good question. The Shock Suspect originally was my first channel, but I decided to change it to the Nintendo Critic because at the time I was making these music mashups and I had some copyright problems with some I made, so I thought, you know, I'll just start a new channel and then, you know, start afresh. And also at the time I thought to myself, I wanted to focus on doing reviews of Nintendo DS and Nintendo Wii games, so I changed my channel name to the Nintendo Critic because, you know, it made sense to what I was doing. So yeah, but after a while I realised that Nintendo Critic sounded so, like, it sounded really kind of lame. I never liked that lame name. I don't know why I ever chose it. But then I changed it to Unusual Suspect because at the time I wanted to focus more on comedy. I wanted to do more comedic reviews at the time. I loved Nostalgia Critic, I loved Angry Video Game Nerd. I just wanted to do what those guys were doing, so I wanted to focus more on just, you know, having fun, less critical style. I mean, I do my critical style reviews still, but, you know, for my movie reviews, they're all for comedy and entertainment, and, you know, I get a great kick out of doing those and then seeing you guys' reactions to them. So yeah, that's pretty much my reason why I changed those channels. Okay, Michael Regan asks, reenact a scene from one of your favourite films. Okay. Look, all I said was that piece of halibut was good enough for Jehovah. He said it again. Hilarious scene. If you, Life of Brian, definitely watch that. Okay, Anthony Delia asks, have you ever thought of doing movie commentaries? Ooh, no, to answer that quite bluntly, commentaries are kind of like very, very iffy when it comes to copyright. I mean, I could always like offer them as downloads, kind of like Mr. Plinkett does, but nah, I have no intention of doing that. Okay, Alex, yeah, you're asking I tried to pronounce my last name correctly. Okay, I will take that challenge. Alex, bloody Norris, Wojciech, maybe? Wojciech. Wojciech. What? I have no idea how to say that name. Wojciech. I'm gonna say Wojciech. Oh no, Wojciech. I think it's Alex Wojciech. I'm gonna say that. I'm probably totally wrong, but that's my guess. Okay. I'm sure you're gonna like let me know in the comments if I get that right, which I will not. Okay, Elliot Wong asks, when did you get into playing video games? Oh, probably when I was about like 3 or 4, something like that. I mean, I had a Mega Drive. That was my first console. I think it belonged to my uncle, and he gave it to me when he kind of grew tired of it. Probably the first game I ever played was Sonic the Hedgehog 2, or maybe like Echo the Dolphin, something like that. So yeah, about 3 or 4 I started. Tim Wilcox asks, which movie so far has been the most aggravating for you to review? That's a good question, that, actually. I would probably say Return of the King because it was just simply the longest. But I remember the Amazing Spider-Man review being quite difficult to write because, you know, it wasn't nearly as goofy as the other ones, so it was a bit more difficult to make fun of. So yeah, I would say the Amazing Spider-Man or Return of the King, simply because that one was the longest. But if the Return of the King was about the same length as Amazing Spider-Man, then Amazing Spider-Man would probably be my toughest review I've done. Which is why I'm not particularly looking forward to doing Amazing Spider-Man 2. But then again, you know, I think maybe I've got a bit more to work with that. Okay, Marietta from Georgia asks, my question is, with your growing experience and skill, do you have plans to go into television as a presenter or host? Oh, no, sorry, no, The great thing about YouTube is, you know, the whole not having a boss thing and doing whatever you want. So working in TV is probably the last thing I want to do. I did 3 years actually on a TV production course, and long story short, I hated it. I just really didn't like it. It just too hectic. Wasn't really given much freedom about what it is I wanted to do. YouTube is just by far the best platform available for me, so definitely gonna stick with YouTube. TV, I mean, never say never, right? But yeah, and definitely no intention of presenting or hosting anything. I mean, as you can tell right now, you know, with how terrible I am at presenting myself in front of the camera when I haven't got a script to work with. Yeah, definitely not. No, I need a script and I need my YouTube. Ewan Byrne asks, which processes of making reviews are your least favourite? Are your favourite? Bike again. Okay, which processes of making reviews are your favourite and least favourite? As in writing, filming and editing. Least favourite writing, simply because it takes forever. I mean, once I get something good down on paper, that I really like, but when I'm stuck and I haven't got anything going through my mind, that's the worst. It really is. Probably editing is my most favourite, because that's when you see the review come together and then you start getting really excited. So yeah, filming's not bad, although I don't pretend to be very good at that one yet, so. Okay, Clint Lamberson, you ask, hey Suspect, can you do a mashup on Pixels and Vacation 2015, Mission Impossible 5, and if you want me to do quite a bit. Okay, a lot of trailers you're mentioning there, all of which I would like to do mashups on them, but the problem is that I need to find some, like, 2 movies that go really well together. One that I did was Star Wars Guardians of the Galaxy. The reason why I did that is because Guardians of the Galaxy was being held as the new Star Wars, hence why I mashed them. I'd like to do all those movies you're suggesting, but it depends whether I find something good I can mash them with. Josh Andrews, you ask, what are a few of your favourite directors? Oh, sorry, I already answered that one. Okay, you got another question. Who would you pick for the next actor to play Spider-Man? Oh, I haven't really thought about that, actually. I'd like to see an older Spider-Man, actually. Like a one that's not like in school or anything, simply because I just want to see a different interpretation of Spider-Man. I really have absolutely no idea, so I'm gonna have to pass on that one. Maybe I've come. Actually, I'll put this down around here for an actor who I think will be good. I need time to think on that one. Magnus Grant, you ask, which future games do you plan on doing critical reviews for? Batman, Arkham Knight, Mirror's Edge 2, Uncharted 4, Tekken 7. Yeah, there's like a bajillion games out there that I'd like to review. Maybe the new Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah. Okay, Sam Birkinshaw. Hey man, I checked out your channel. Thank you very much for making me that Minecraft thing. By the way, that was much appreciated. Okay, you ask, are you interested in DC Comics? Yeah, I'm not a big comic person, unfortunately. As my interest in comic books only goes to the movies, I'm afraid. So sorry, not interested in comics at all. Sorry. Okay, Jonathan David Glass asks. Okay, you're asking loads of questions here, so I'm just going to answer one. What is your favorite movie? Oh, I already answered that. Can you give any review and video making tips? Oh, sorry, I already answered that. Okay, besides YouTube, what do you do for a living? Ah, there we go. Actually, YouTube is actually now my full-time job. I mean, don't get me wrong, the pay is terrible and I'm only barely making enough to get by. But yeah, YouTube is my full-time job. Ryan Cosgrove, what was your inspiration to start making YouTube videos? I may have already answered this, but again, nostalgia critic and angry video game nerd, basically. Angry video game nerd, aka James Rolfe, he inspired me to do my own video game reviews because I loved his reviews so much. And then through the nerd, I found out about nostalgia critic and he convinced me to do movie reviews. So that's a long story short. Zane JS asks, do you read comics? Oh, I already answered that one. That would be a no, sorry. You also ask, what is your opinions on the Hobbit movies? Okay, the Hobbit movies aren't bad, I mean, don't get me wrong, but they are disappointing. I mean, I like them. I mean, yeah, I will say that I do really like them, in fact, but when you compare them to Lord of the Rings, they just do not hold up at all. For some bizarre reason, how is it that these movies came out 10 years after Lord of the Rings and yet the CGI looks horrendous? I don't understand how that works. And the thing with those movies, like a lot of people point out, is that they use way too much CGI. I mean, that final battle at the end of the Battle of the Five Armies, that was a video game cutscene basically. It was not good. Also, there was like way too many characters as well. Like, how many dwarves are there in that movie? It's like ridiculous amount in that company. It's like, was it like 11 or something? Maybe even more. The thing is, if you can't name all the movie characters after 3 films with them, then you know they're not very good. I mean, because I can't name any. I mean, okay, I'm gonna try and name all the dwarves in The Hobbit now. Okay, so we got Fili, Kili, Balin, Thorin, I think one was called Bomber. Yeah, that's it. I can't name any others. Yeah, so the thing I would say, I know this may seem like a bit of an unpopular opinion, but I would have liked to have seen like a lot of the characters actually cut from the film. So there was only like about 5 or 6 dwarves that went with them instead of like friggin' 11 or something. That I think would have improved those movies a bit, because it would have given more screen time to each dwarf character. So yeah, I think that would have been a good idea. I mean, again, probably an unpopular idea, but I think that's really what they should have done. Oh my god. Christos Stoyanov. Awesome name. Can you rate the 6 Star Wars films going from best to worst? Best one is Empire Strikes Back. I think that's most people's opinion. Second best, the original Star Wars. Third best, probably Return of the Jedi. Fourth best, gonna say Revenge of the Sith. Fifth, Phantom Menace. Attack of the Clones, I think, is the worst one out of the bunch. A lot of people say Phantom Menace is the worst, but it's the love story in Attack of the Clones that's it's awful. It's so bad in that. I take Jar Jar over the I don't like sand and I truly deeply love you any day. You know, seriously. Okay, Sean O'Donoghue, you ask, what made you start with Harry Potter? Out of all the movies you could have done, why that one? That's actually a really good question. I don't exactly know why I started with that one. I think, why did I start with that one? I don't know. I really don't know why I started with Harry Potter. That is a very good question. I have no idea. I'm so sorry, man. I have no idea why I started with them. Maybe. I mean, I was a fan of the Harry Potter franchise, and maybe it's because they're a British institution and I'm British, so maybe that swayed my opinion. I mean, I think I was just like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Harry Potter, done. There we go, I'll go with that one. That was probably how I did it. Brian McNamara asks, do you like Yu-Gi-Oh? Yu-Gi-Oh is something that, yeah, I'm not into it anymore, but I was into it, let's say, about 5 years ago. I watched the show. I've seen like all episodes of the one where with Yugi in it. I enjoyed it. I love watching the card battles. I actually played a few of the games on the DS, actually. I thought they were pretty good. I quite enjoyed those. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not into as much anymore, but I used to be. Alexander Ayers asks, how excited are you for Star Wars The Force Awakens? Okay, I'll answer this like this. If I had a time machine, then the first thing I would do is go watch Star Wars Episode 7. That's how excited I am for that movie. Paul Nagel, or Nagel. Paul Nagel, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Who are some of your favourite YouTubers? I watch a ridiculous amount of YouTube, more than I should. I love JonTron. He's probably my favourite reviewer out there. I'm in so much envy of how much comedic presence that man has. I love JonTron. Egoraptor as well. Those two. I mean, funnily enough, I was never actually into Game Grumps because I was never really into Let's Plays. But yeah, JonTron and Egoraptor, their own solo videos that they do, like Egoraptor's Sequelitis videos. That's the best review show on the internet. Easy. You know, if you haven't seen Sequelitis yet, watch them. They're just friggin' funny as hell. His comedic timing is like perfect, and he really makes you think as well. It's just fantastic sequel writers. Angry Joe, I also love. You saw him use a clip from him in my recent review. So yeah, probably John Troiniger, Raptor, and Angry Joe are probably my favourite reviewers are. Kid Icarus as well. Kid Icarus is really great as well. Josh Hilder asks, have you ever walked out on a movie? If so, what movie and why? I'm assuming you're talking about like when I went to see a movie in the theatre. That I've never actually done that. Never. There was a few movies I've been watching at home though that I switched off because I was like, oh no, I don't like this. I will say Taken 3. The shaky cam in that was driving me nuts. That I shut that off about 15 minutes in. That it was giving me such a headache. Oh, the director of that movie, please keep your friggin' hands still. It's awful camera work in that. Like there's a scene where Liam Neeson like jumps over a fence, and it's like about like fucking 10 different takes of that simple action, all of which is shaking like mad. It's horrendous. So Taken 3 is probably the one that I just shut off. Hugo Junstrand, oh yeah, thanks a lot man for your Swedish subtitles. Okay, you ask her, what was one of the first movies you ever saw, or at the very least the one you feel the most nostalgic for? Well, again, I already answered the one about the first movie I saw in the cinema. I will say though, probably the number one most nostalgic movie for me is got to be something like Toy Story. You know, I've seen that movie so many times as a kid, and yeah, Toy Story definitely. And as a lot of you guys are probably going to ask, yes, that is on my to-do list for reviews as well. Sebby Stone, on average, how long do you spend learning your script for your reviews? I don't learn it, I just write the review, I print it out, and then I keep it on my sofa as I film the review, and then I just like look at each line, say it, look at another line, say the line, and I'm like that, and then I just edit them together in editing. So yeah, I don't learn the scripts, although I do read them back to myself quite a lot. So, and in that process, I can actually learn them off by heart a little bit. But still, I keep the script handy, now next to me. Cody James Lai, are you a fan of the Studio Ghibli films? Or Ghibli, I don't know how to pronounce that. But yes, I am. I love those films. Actually, I only just saw Spirited Away only just last year. I don't know why I waited so long, but it was amazing. Freaking amazing animation. I gotta see more. Ponyo, I've seen. Princess Mononoke was great as well. Actually, I need to see more of them. I really need to get on to seeing more from Studio Ghibli. But yeah, they are amazing, and definitely a fan of those guys. Tyler Michael asks, could you name a few movies that you found to be overrated, underrated, or not as bad as people say? Okay, I've already answered the overrated one. Well, they're not really overrated, I just didn't get them. But underrated, or movies that I liked but everyone else didn't. Last Action Hero, I love that movie. I mean, obviously Nostalgic reviewed it, he really doesn't like it. You know, I get it, it's really not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination. There's a few boring bits, but what jokes work enough for me to recommend it. I love it. And you know, Arnold is just classic Arnold. It's dumb as hell, but it's fun. It's just really fun. But again, not a lot of people agree with me on that. Okay, Matthew Raw asks, what would happen to be your favourite television show currently airing or has aired over the course of this year? My favourite show at the moment has got to be Game of Thrones. Only 10 episodes a year. Oh man. I mean, actually, the most recent season hasn't been amazing so far. I mean, it's not been as good as, let's say, season 3 or 4, but it's still my favourite show. I also love Gravity Falls and Rick and Morty. Those two are like the hottest new animated shows out right now. Definitely check those out. I'm also a big fan of like the superhero shows as well. Shows like Arrow, The Flash, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Also, I'm a fan of Top Gear, though I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that at the moment. So yeah, hopefully they get Clarkson back somehow. I think they're doing their own thing now. Whatever Clarkson, May, and Hammond do, I'm right there because I love those guys. Lauren Woods, what's your favourite race in Middle-earth? I'm going to answer that question as if what race I'd want to be. And probably Wizard. They have by far the most power, right? I mean, Gandalf is a badass. I would definitely be a fellow wizard. And the good thing about wizards is that they can just, you know, totally relax and just do whatever they want as well. I mean, Gandalf only does what he does because he has a a moral sense. I mean, like, you take Radagast or the Blue Wizards. I mean, what the hell do those guys do? You know, just, you have all that power and you don't have to do anything about it. I love that. I'd be a wizard. If, look, are wizards a race? I mean, are they just men and magical and shit? I don't know. Probably, I should imagine they're a race. Someone in the comment probably explain that to me. Kyle Withers, can you do a movie review on Shawshank Redemption? Shawshank Redemption is something I guess I could do. I love the movie. I mean, who doesn't? But yeah, I mean, it's quite a dark, depressing movie at times, so it'd be quite difficult to, you know, make fun of and joke about, but I don't know, I'll put it on my to-do list and see if other people want me to do it. I don't see why not. Okay, Elliot Gear, you ask, what would you say is the funniest movie franchise of all time and why? Ace Ventura, if you can call that a franchise, because there's only 2 films, but I would love it if there was an Ace Ventura 3. Because, I mean, Jim Carrey came back to do Dumb and Dumber 2, so hopefully he'll come back for 3. Oh, and I know there is an Ace Ventura 3, like Ace Ventura Jr., but you know what I mean. Daniel Morrison asks, are you planning on reviewing any X-Men movies? They're on my to-do list as well, so yes, I will review them. Okay, I'm probably about over an hour in, okay, so I'm gonna go through the rest of these questions and go through them as quickly as I can, okay, so I'm gonna go quick fire right now, okay? Anthony Justice, will you be reviewing a film series soundtracks in the near future instead of just mentioning them? Probably not. I am planning on doing a new top 10 video about my favourite soundtrack singles, actually, so look out for that. But in terms of, like, mentioning them, like, often, probably not. Joshua Crow asks, since you do Power Rangers mashups, would you ever consider reviewing the movies? I don't see why not. I think there's a lot of material there to make fun of. I mean, I actually recently only just saw the original Power Rangers movie recently, and yeah, it's pretty hilariously bad. So yeah, maybe I'll do it. Again, I'll see if there's enough demand for it. Okay, Conrad Kumar, you ask, what is your favourite horror thriller movie of all time? And if you don't have one, what's your favourite genre of movies? Okay, horror movies I'm really not that too big on. I remember recently watching The Cabin in the Woods. I thought that was fantastic, but wasn't really a horror film. Well, it kind of was, but kind of wasn't. Favourite genre movies, probably action. And I'm a big action nut. Martial arts films I love. Brian DeGeller asks, what is your favourite film in each year since you were born? Oh man, that's a bit of a long question, that. Yeah, I really can't do all that off the top of my head, man, sorry. Send me a message on Facebook and I'll see if I can come up with a list for you. Matthew Munro, do you think that putting too many characters into Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, or do you think that they are putting too many characters into it? I don't think so. I mean, if Avengers Age of Ultron can have like 8 different superheroes, maybe even more, then yeah, about 9 superheroes I think they have in it. Yes, I think if Avengers Age of Ultron can pull it off, then Superman Dawn of Justice should be fine. Ruben Sprite asks, what film was the easiest to review and which was the hardest? Again, hardest was Amazing Spider-Man. Easiest, probably Spider-Man 2. I remember that review going really smoothly. Sam Carr asks, what would you say your favourite genre of movie is, and would you ever consider reviewing movies from other genres? Yeah, I already answered that. Action movie, and yes, I'm up for all genres. Okay, how many more questions have I got here? Oh man. I've got so many more questions. Okay, guys, my throat is getting really dry now. I'm all out of tonic water here, so I'm afraid I'm gonna have to cut it there. Apologies for not getting to every single question. I really thought I might have been able to do it, but obviously not. So yeah, if you're still with me, thank you so much for watching for this long. New reviews and movie reviews and game reviews and all that stuff is coming next. Let me know in the comment section if you like this Q&A video, and I may or may not do more in the future. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. Need a script and I need to edit, and I'll see you next time. Take care.